You see, what we found out is that there was a huge Nazi presence in Antarctica at the end of World War II. Moreover, they had help, extraterrestrial help, and in fact very surprising extraterrestrial help. Clearly the Nazis could not have established it.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel that basically feels like it's releasing biannual episodes at this point. Today I have a group of remote viewers that claim to have information about Nazi bases in Antarctica. Now, for any of you who don't know what remote viewing is, basically it's this. So with that, let's begin.
Approximately 1 year after Germany surrendered at the close of World War II, Rear Admiral Richard Byrd led an expedition to Antarctica called Operation High Jump. Now, at the time, the United States had spent a lot of money on World War II. The end of the war would normally be considered a time to close down military activities, consolidate gains, save cash, and so on. But this expedition to Antarctica involved tremendous resources. Those resources were called Task Force 68.
Why not just call it Task Force 69? Yes, I'm a child. Now listen, you would think that they would ramp down military spending, but America had this unique situation where they were fairly undamaged. So they got busy selling products to parts of Europe to rebuild. This allowed them to have lots of extra money, and they were actually on a bit of an expansionism tear at that point. It's actually more likely they were jacked up on freedom and European women.
Now, the stated reason for the task force to Antarctica was to gather data, to explore, to see if it was possible to design air bases in that cold location and that type of thing. Sort of National Geographic on steroids.
That's not National Geographic on steroids, this is.
But friends, you don't need 13 military ships, 33 military aircraft, and nearly 5,000 military personnel to do that, especially for an inhospitable location that you don't know much about. I can see 1 or 2 ships and a couple of aircraft to check out the scene, but an entire armada armed to the teeth doesn't seem to match the stated goals of the expedition.
Well, what do you suppose they would send on a mission like that? A bunch of cruise ships ready for a Caribbean vacation? Fishing trawlers? A fat guy on an inner tube. So that's it then. They should just round up some fishing trawlers and fat guys on inner tubes.
What, are you retarded?
You realize that to have any sort of remote location, you need to have a logistics line, right? Like, how many people do you think were even employed in just the task of bringing food to a Roman siege?
Hey man, where the heck can we eat around here?
Glenn, 300 pizzas, order them.
18 pizza pockets.
What? No.
Areas kind of spread out underneath this structure. So the structure, you know, looks this big on the outside, but then inside the structure, there's a way to get down into like these kind of hidden areas and down inside the structure.
It's like a fat guy's penis, right? Most of the structure's underneath. It's not from experience, shut up.
What we're about to show you will explain why Admiral Byrd really led that expedition to Antarctica, what happened when he did it, and ultimately, why US presidents eventually made a very bad deal by allowing certain extraterrestrial groups to establish an official presence on, or perhaps I should say underneath, US soil.
You know, it's weird. This seems like, I haven't mentioned it, but this seems like, I think I should mention it now. Almost everyone here is blonde and Caucasian looking. They just all look really, really blonde and have very light skin. And you know, usually I just wouldn't mention it, but this is like a strikingly large amount of blonde people. Not just here, these 3 guys, but I'm talking about everyone. Like a lot of the guys in the hangar, a lot of the guys in the non-surface structure. It's not everyone. I mean, I see like some people who aren't blonde, but it's just like a very, very large number of blonde people.
I have so many questions for this. Like, are these people intentionally frowny face? And what's with the guy with the drink? That's Very odd that you would just draw him with a nice screwdriver and a straw. And seriously, all of this blue-eyed, blonde-haired Aryan race stuff, I know somewhere along the lines you were told that the Nazis were experimenting with eugenics, but like, he was only in power for 13 years, so how old were these officers?
So.
Hey! Oh no! It's the manager! Run! You get out of here, you kids who are just kids and not an adult like me!
There have also been rumors of Nazis establishing at least one base in Antarctica, a location where research could go on without interference from Allied forces. The Nazis did indeed like to have backup plans in case things went wrong, which is why so many Nazis fled to South America after the war. The smoothness and rapidness with which that happened suggests that arrangements had been made well in advance for this type of last-minute escape plan. It also makes sense that those fleeing Nazis would have wanted to be close to some type of Nazi military presence, just in case.
Are you serious? South America and Antarctica, while being relatively close, are not just a hop, skip, and a jump away from each other. How are you going to house enough troops there and keep them logistically fed even to have some sort of Nazi military presence? One blockade and the entire base is dead.
The structures are not easily visible from the base surface. I had to kind of jump up and look down, and there are these structures below. They're below the base surface. They're not formatted on top of the surface like that I'm standing on. They're kind of like underneath me.
Ice cream covered with chocolate sprinkles.
In a sense, there's a sizable collection. There's a lot of them, like just underneath me. Factory, I don't know what it is, some type of facility.
Double stuffed Oreos. He's taking the top off of one and being put together to make quadruple steps.
Well, you heard it here, folks. I'm convinced, for one. I think we need to get on the phone to the History Channel here, get this all put out in the open. Just gonna... It's ringing. Hello. Yeah, History Channel. Yeah, this is the line for ideas for shows, right? Absolutely, absolutely. So I've just discovered there's an entire group of people that are basically doing remote viewing, and they have told us all about a base in Antarctica full of Nazis. But this has got like World War II, like Nazism stuff, and but do you really think people care about? Beaver's so last decade, isn't he, at this point? No? Hey, listen. Okay, well, if you change your mind, just, you got my number. Give me a call. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you. Bye. No, apparently they're going to go with a docu-series on the life and history of Justin Bieber. Yeah, I don't know. History's trash these days.
So, a remote viewing target was designed, one that simply said, the most advanced Nazi base in Antarctica circa the end of World War II. Now, if the most advanced Nazi base was simply a fishing boat that may have run ashore, then that is what we would have gotten. Well, after I obtained the remote viewing data from our viewers for the first target of this project, and remember that only I knew that the target was the most advanced Nazi base in Antarctica circa the end of World War II.
From looking from a far view of below, the ground is like under this whole cold, snowy place. I'm seeing these long hallways. Looks like they take you all around this area. And it's very long and very dull lights in here.
Oh, shit, I had this game. In television, right?
You see, what we found out is that there was a huge Nazi presence in Antarctica at the end of World War II. Moreover, they had help, extraterrestrial help, and in fact very surprising extraterrestrial help. Clearly, the Nazis could not have established a powerful military presence in Antarctica without outside assistance. The environment was just too inhospitable. So they got help. But we ultimately found out that they got help from two very different extraterrestrial groups.
Things kind of in the sky, they look like almost like arrows pointing this way, like this. But when I probe them, they don't feel solid, so they feel kind of like a laser or something, you know what I mean? Like lasers. And so that's what I'm hearing here, a lot of man-made sounds. I see these lasers in the sky kind of coming down.
Oh, I heard about this. They completely audio remastered Stargate Atlantis. It's amazing.
I designed the second target for this project, and target 2 is the most significant battle between the Nazi forces in Antarctica and US forces circa the end of World War II or after.
This guy's not a human. The top commander for their side of things, he is not a human at all. He is a dinosaur face looking guy, very fierce and looking face. So let's draw some teeth. And he's huge. Like, he's just another one of those really, really big reptile people. Like, he's a huge, huge reptile person. So these are the top commanders. This is a war, this is a battle, and it's between this guy and that guy.
So let me get this straight. It's a Antarctic space battle between Captain Fly Nibbler and Josh Ramsey? Besides, everybody knows size doesn't matter.
What does matter is length times diameter plus weight over girth divided by angle of the tip squared, okay?
And these are their forces. Airplane-looking things and boomerang-looking things. And uniform, immaculate living room discs. Best way I can describe these things. And these guys are way faster.
I was captivated, tranced. It hit me like a thunderbolt. I had to ask the guy next to me to pinch me to make sure I wasn't dreaming.
Listen, buddy, I don't know what an immaculate living room disc is, but it sounds like somebody in that house is into the goop. At which point, you need to ask them to stop leaving whatever new vagina exercise Gwyneth has come up with this week on the frickin' coffee table.
There's a lot happening. This war, battle, attack, shooting, other groups. It seems like one side seems to be getting attacked, the other opposing side seems to be attacking or protecting. I see something protection, defense, but they were not. The side that's getting attacked.
Fried chicken. It's tender and it's fresh. There's maple syrup. Maple syrup's being put on the chicken. What the hell is wrong with these people?
All right, everybody, I think that's it for me. I know I've had enough of these neon crayon munchers, and I bet you have too by now. If you aren't a member, think about joining so you can support the channel, maybe join the Patreon, and come on by and watch a live stream. But the biggest thing you can do if you want to help me out is just hit that like button right down there. So why don't you go do that? Hit that like button if you haven't, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Have a good day.